Hello again, my baddie friends. I had the extraordinary pleasure this past weekend of attending a Dark Carnival themed party. It was my friend Michael's 40th birthday party, and if you've ever been to my website, you've almost certainly seen his watermark. He's a fantastic photographer, and a number of the photos on my website are photos that he has taken. And for the party, I made this veil, which is, as you can see, just a little teardrop-shaped hat with some flowers and a little sparkly bug guy attached to the top. I've also put the same lace that the veil itself is made from. I overlaid on top of the teardrop hat. The veil itself is this delightful batty lace pattern that I absolutely love and was so glad to have something to do with it because I'm not a particularly good seamstress. I bought yards of it last Halloween, certain that I would find something to use it for, and it's been languishing in my fabric collection ever since. Which would tell you a lot about me, that I'm not a great seamstress, but I still have a fabric collection. And I also made this delightful box, and by made I mean painted, for the most part. The box itself was purchased at Michael's, not my friend Michael, the craft store Michael's, if that was in some way unclear. The image on top, this is actually glass, this is a frame. If you look very, very closely, and I'm not sure I can pick it up here, there's a little bit of red behind the card, because that is in fact the back of this tarot deck. Now I added the lining, I've got some foam and used some scrap red fabric out of my fabric collection. And in here, I put this amazing tarot deck. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's called The Tarot of the Absurd by Barefoot Fool. Her website is linked below, and it's just this absolutely stunning deck that I'm thrilled to have and be able to work with. It actually has 23 major arcana. In a normal deck there are 22, 0 starting with the Fool all the way through 21, the World. And this deck is also labeled 0 through 21, however that's because there are two 18s. There are two different versions of the moon, and I really dig both of them. I think they're both really interesting. And I think it's one of the more interesting things about what is already a very interesting deck, that there are two copies, two very different versions of this piece of major arcana. Anyway, I made this deck, I bought this deck and made this box and that veil for this party. It was Dark Carnival themed as mentioned, and the color scheme was black and white with splashes of red, which should sound very familiar to any of you who are fans of the Night Circus. And if you're not fans of the Night Circus, I highly recommend the Night Circus. You should go read it. So I chose to wear a veil as a fortune teller, specifically because of Isabel Martin, the fortune teller at the Night Circus, who is described as dressed in all black and wearing a veil. I broke the sort of cosplay-ish aspect of it in two ways. One is that her hair is like actually pretty close to my natural hair color, which is a sort of dirty blonde, brown, could be blonde, could be brown, who the hell knows kind of color. And that I actually did red lipstick and red eyebrows because I wanted that splash of red. And because under the veil, I just think contrasting makeup reads a little better. So there you go. That's the stuff that I made for the party. But here's some footage from the party itself.
I know, I've got 5 over here. Fair enough.
Got it.
Were you both holding it? Okay, alright. I was gonna say take a couple, Libby and Ken! Libby and Ken, take a couple selfies. Take a selfie together.
This way to make it grow.
It's the pre-show for the burlesque.
The White Elephant Burlesque Society did perform, although I was not among the performers. It was actually kind of cool for once to be able to sit and just watch the show, to see all the numbers from the angle they were meant to be seen from, not from off in the wings, and just sort of generally to not have the pressure of performing at an event like that.
Now you see the last. Hey, Michael, get your hands in there.
After the party, Micah and I drove home because the party was in Pennsylvania. So kind of a long haul, but totally worth it. It was a great party. I had a great time. I took my souvenir bookmark and actually stuck it directly in my copy of The Night Circus. And that's going to be my bookmark for that book for the rest of forever, I think. And The Night Circus is absolutely a book that I will give a reread to, at least once. I only read it once so far, and that was, the first time was a few months ago. So I'm not quite ready for a reread on that yet, but I'm sure that I will reread it many, many times over the next several years.